Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail, and we're continuing here in Dromore, County Down. And as you can see, we're right beside the Lagan, and we're continuing in the graveyard here of Dromore Cathedral. And you can just see there beside the bridge Dromore's High Cross, and certainly there's a wee bit of history with that High Cross, because this ring-headed granite High Cross actually dates from the 9th or 10th century. And it originally stood in the Market Square, which is in the centre of Dromore town. And it was badly damaged in the 17th century and was restored and erected within the grounds of the cathedral here in 1887. And you can see a wee bit of a waterfall there, just down from the bridge. Now, the head with its solid recessed ring is actually original, and is thought to represent the cosmos, with the crucifixion of Christ at its centre. Now, you'll not be able to see that because you would have to be on the roadside to see that. But I'll just zoom in and let you see the cross itself. It's a wee piece of history there. And you can see the lovely bridge as well. And just over there, that used to be the police station, but it's closed down now. And what we're here to do is, we're not actually here to talk about the High Cross. That's just a wee bonus for you. We're here to talk about this tomb. Well, actually the family connected with this tomb, which is called the Vaughan family, because the Vaughans actually owned 224 acres of land in County Down, and the family are actually of Welsh extraction, and there is every reason to believe that they're descended from the old and ennobled house of Vaughan of Golden Grove in, I'll try and pronounce this, Carmarthenshire, on which was conferred the earldom of Carbery. And for more than 3 centuries it had been settled in the province of Ulster in Dromore, County Down. Firstly, of course, it was at Ardee in County Louth. However, now, the Reverend George Vaughan, he was the treasurer of Dromore, and he's the ancestor of the Vaughans of Quilly, which is just over that direction. It's not far from here. And he was a devoted friend, actually, of Bishop Jeremy Taylor of Dromore, who actually rebuilt this cathedral in 1661. And of course, Bishop Taylor's buried in the church, and I've done a wee video of his grave, and so you can check out that video. Now, the Reverend John Vaughan, who was George's son, he was born in 1675 and he died in 1745, and he became the rector of the United Parishes of Dromore and Annaclone in County Down. And he's buried in the church, but some of his descendants are actually buried here. And so I'm going to read this out to you. It says, "Within the wall of the church are interred the remains of the Reverend John Vaughan, who I've just mentioned, who died in January 1745, rector of the then United Parishes of Dromore and Annaclone, and the remains of his widow Anne Vaughan, otherwise Lambert, and also the remains of their only son, the Reverend George Vaughan, and Margaret Vaughan, otherwise Smith, his wife. And near this place are interred the remains of their eldest son, George Vaughan, of Villa, I think that is, who died 14th of May 1794, and the remains of his wife Anne Vaughan are otherwise Montgomery, and also the remains of their only daughter, Margaret Vaughan, who died 21st of August 1828, and of their son George, who died February 7th, 1840. And so some of their descendants are actually buried in this, and of course the Reverend John himself is buried in the church. So that's amazing, that they have a big connection with Bishop Jeremy Taylor. George was a good friend of Bishop Jeremy Taylor, the Reverend George Vaughan. And so that's fantastic. And that's the crypt, as you can see, and there's a better view there of the high cross. And so if you remember, I've done a wee video on the Bruce family, who were about 5 or 6 successive generations of ministers in the family. Well, here we have 3 ministers. So we have in the family the grandfather, the father, and the son. So absolutely fantastic. And that's brilliant. Just before we wrap this up, I'll just take you down and let you see the bridge. And also then the high cross. So thank you for joining me on the Church History Trail. And again, if you enjoy the channel, then please like and subscribe. God bless.